The traditional yogi is concerned with purifying the body and the mind. This is sometimes described as conquering the mind. And the impression given is that the traditional yogi is striving to achieve some kind of quiescence, some kind of mental, emotional quiescence. This has got nothing to do with self-enquiry. Self-enquiry is turning the attention on itself and direct realization of awareness by awareness. And this current chapter, well, it seems to me, is very much from the point of view of traditional yoga. It's concerned with quietening the mind, which can be useful at times. Of the two seeds for this world illusion, namely movement of prana and clinging to fancy, if one is got rid of, the other also goes away, for the two are interdependent. Earlier in this chapter we heard about the movement of prana, and after that we heard about how clinging to fancy gives rise to notions of an external world. It can sound quite exotic and mystical talking about prana. People describe it in various ways as some kind of psychic energy, the life force. If you can perceive this psychic energy, if you can work with it, well, that's good. Go ahead and do so. But for me, ideas of prana are simply notions, and I'm not interested in notions. If there is prana, then it should be obvious. Sometimes prana is understood as the breath. Well, that's okay, that's the breath. Yes, I can be aware of what's meant by breathing. It seems to me, though, that all that's moving at the subtle levels is the attention, and prana in this context is the attention. I don't see anything else moving. I'm not aware of any psychic energy. I'm sure I could visualize such a thing if I was so inclined. But in terms of what is happening right now, there is attention, there is breathing. But psychic energy, I don't see it as any part of the field of experiencing, and therefore I'm not interested in it. The mind creates the world illusion, and the mind is created by the movement of prana in one's own conditioning. The mind creates the world illusion. The mind creates notions of an external world. There is stuff going on. There's the field of experience, and through the process of cognition we create notions of an external world, of an individual self. And this is done by the attention moving from one notion to another. These are interdependent. The more the attention focuses on certain notions, the more it reinforces them. Again, this movement of prana also takes place because of the mental conditioning or fancy. The attention moves in well-worn ruts. Thus this vicious circle is completed. One feeds the other, one spurs the other into action. So let's be quite clear we understand this. The mind creates a notion. That notion seems to make some kind of sense. So the attention turns to it often and reinforces it with other notions, and in doing so the attention has to gather more material or create more material. So the attention is turned to other notions, and so we've got the vortex of the mind sucking our awareness into it. Thus this vicious circle is completed. One feeds the other, one spurs the other into action. Yes, I would say this vicious circle is a vortex. Motion is natural to prana, And this is the attention again. The attention does not like to stay fixed, does it? And when it moves in consciousness, mind arises. And that's why we don't like it to be fixed by it constantly moving around. It gives us mental distractions. It gives us things to identify with. Then the conditioning keeps the prana in motion. When one is arrested, both fall. That's the yogic point of view. And it's arguable that if you stop the attention, if you focus the attention on an object, whether it's the breathing or anything else, the result is only temporary. As soon as you stop your practice, the whole thing's going to kick in again. However, we can stop the clinging to fancy, or we can at least inquire into it, become aware of it as possible. And this is the beginning of self-enquiry. It's inquiry which can lead to self-enquiry. The psychological conditioning or limitation alone is the source of untold pain and sorrow, and it is the root of ignorance. But when it comes to an end, the mind falls with it instantly. So this is the process of inquiry. Even so, by the restraint of the movement of prana, life force, the mind comes to a standstill without perceiving the world that dwells within it. And this is a yogic condition. From the point of view of inquiry, we're not interested in bringing the mind to a standstill. We're not interested in giving up perception of the world. What we're interested in is giving up our firm conviction in these notions, realizing that they are only modes of experiencing. They're only conventions, not reality.